This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Well, Diddy is a lot's happening with him, okay? Like, they're going through his houses, seizing computers, everything, right? Now, Uncle Luke recently spoke out on the We in Miami podcast and said, hey, I didn't even want any money for the Pop That. When Pop That came out with French Montana, Drake, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, and everybody, he didn't want to be part of the video. He didn't want any money from it. He said some money is not all, all money is not good money, right? Then he also said he would never leave Diddy's parties. He would leave the parties like really early and didn't want to be a part of anything. A lot of people did speculation on that. Now, don't forget that Diddy had a huge suit recently with Diageo last year. And in order for them to remove him from his contract, it had to show something that's not good for the brand. What's not good for the brand? Well, he's being accused of all these crimes now, right? He has all these suits against him in court. And Diageo made the case that, hey, he's not good for the brand. And they were able to reach a settlement and get him out of the company, right? A judge ruled in Diageo's favor because he has all these pending court cases, that's not good. It doesn't align with their brand anymore. But it's not a coincidence that he went against Diageo, one of the top 3 liquor distributors, right? And all this is happening, right? This happens. Bill Cosby went against the system at one point. He got taken down. Anybody who goes against the system, you're going to get taken down. Look what happened to Kanye. He started going against the system. What happened? Took him down, right? If you're playing in somebody else's playground, see how Jay-Z never pushes against, really? Like, he's very careful. He doesn't want to lose that standing. So anyways, Uncle Luke speaks out because now he kind of has to, because he kind of started something on the We in Miami podcast. Now, he goes on for an hour about this. I'm going to skip through so we don't listen to the rambling. But Uncle Luke is someone who had to go against the system for hip-hop at one point. In the 90s, they wouldn't let him perform and everything because he had very sexual music, and they were like, nah, we can't have this, big butts music and all this. He had the freaky music, like that's what they called it back then, and they wouldn't, he was banned, he did a lot to go up against the system. Okay. So let's listen to what he says.
Some deep shit. And for people to be out there piling on the man, that's fucked up. I don't wish that shit on nobody. It's obvious that he has some situations happening. And people are out there and you got to deal with it. But I'm curious to ask y'all something, right? When the last time y'all seen any federal organization raid a motherfucking house in the daytime? In the broad daylight. They normally come, when the feds come, they be like 4 o'clock in the morning when you sleep and shit. And then, don't they raid your house? And they have a search warrant and they have something, they want to lock you up? That's kind of interesting to me. They all the guns and the tanks and shit for some cell phones. I know I'm from the hood, and I know, boy, back in the days you was doing some wild shit. Then you had to worry about them people coming at night, at early in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
That is a good point. It's almost like, this is just a warning, almost, It's weird.
Come while your ass sleep, and then they come and get you. Because they want to have a conversation with you. Me up. Or by anybody. In any of them situations, that shit go to court, and it comes out, and and I know when the wild shit get ready to happen, and I leave. But that's why I ain't in that in crowd. What up, Jeff? I'm not in that in crowd. I leave. I'm out of there. I'm going. See you later, alligator. You know, when the wild shit, the party get good, and, early on, everybody had a guest and everything, party get good, but then there's a time that you need to leave the party. There's a time that everybody needs to leave the party because ain't nothing good finna happen good afterwards. People gonna, start doing their little thing. Their little wild shit. And so you kind of get the vibes. Who's known for doing wild shit. Us in the industry, we know who's known for doing wild shit. So when you see that dude in the party or that girl in the party, you be like, okay, man, it's time for me to go. Them damn red flags go to coming up. Okay, it's time for me to go. Hey, look, I'm going with the white folks, with the sponsors and shit. And so again, the way they, listen, man. I look at my man Diddy. I like Diddy. I know Diddy from when he was with Andre. His whole history, doing parties. Have a lot of bad things been around him, yes. But he's really a good guy. From what I know, I don't know what people do in the dark. But I know him as the guy that I meet, the guy that I've talked to on several occasions. He's a genuinely good, respectable guy. You know what I'm saying? He's really he's real sensitive also. He ain't the big tough guy and all that. But the people around you have to be professional enough to make sure that they got to protect you. They got to protect the situation. Because you can have a grown-ass person sitting, you can have a little, some young-ass person in the room where they don't need to be in there. So the people around you, all these people, they so busy, especially fucking bodyguards, they so busy worrying about a dude where, hey, look here, they need to be checking ID and shit. And dudes around me was like that. We had parties and shit. It became, no, man, hey, look here. You better check some ID. Your job is to check ID. Don't let nobody up in this party that, don't belong up in here. That's, and these dudes, they have a lot more resources. And so if there was some shit going on, who that with? But that dude ain't, that guy's not the one. You call his lawyer up and say, lawyer, tell the lawyer, this is how the shit work. You call the lawyer up, hey man, we got a warrant to search the house. Or if you feel like you're gonna call the lawyer up and give him the heads up, then you just, because the lawyer gonna then feel like, if you call the lawyer, you feel like you're gonna fuck with some evidence, you wanna do a surprise attack. They do that shit early in the morning. This, when you sign up with these certain companies, when you sign up with certain companies and you go rogue and you start talking about you're going to sue them, when you start talking about you're going to sue certain companies that you got in bed with that made you a billionaire, and I'm gonna say this, and I want y'all to think about this because I don't want to call no other names. I don't want to call no other names on it because I don't want to be getting no viral moment on this bitch where they video my shit and have me on the shade room and everywhere, other fucking room. Think about what I'm getting ready to say to you all. When you sign up to these major companies, these major corporations, and they make you a billionaire, and you're doing all kind of wild shit around them and all kind of wild shit with them, and they make you a billionaire, they feel like they made you. They feel like they made you. So when you go rogue and you get to the point where you go to talking that shit about suing them and acting like and talking all that wild shit about you this and you that, and you suing them and they treating you some kind of way, and when you go rogue, them people coming.
And that's basically the gist of everything he's talking about during the thing for an hour. And it's what we've been talking about. Diageo, the raids don't make sense, like I'm not saying Diddy's innocent of everything, I don't think he's guilty of everything at the same time too, it's like, and they're gonna tear him down for about the next year or two, and then I don't think you'll see jail time, but they're gonna embarrass him. And they're going to make him untouchable, and he's going to be stripped of everything. But Diddy is somebody who had to fight his way into the industry as well, I wouldn't say as much as a Birdman or as much as Master P, but because he was kind of hooked in with the right people from working at Uptown Records, right? And he kind of like got the lay of the land there and kind of worked his way in. Even Rockefeller, I think they had more of a fight than Diddy did, but he still had to fight his way in. He was one of the first black-owned record companies after Russell Simmons and who was Uptown Records. I think it was Andre Harrell, right? That was his name, right? Yeah, who's passed away. But he was one of that first group of, black-owned hip-hop labels in the system. Yeah, you had Motown before and everything, but I'm just saying, like, he was breaking down the barriers for hip-hop culture, So, anyways, yeah. And then, he kind of led the charge with like a black-owned liquor company, not a company that just gave you, he didn't own Ciroc, but like he had such a good partnership with them, where he was getting he kept renegotiating his deal where he was getting a lion's share, a good share of the money, obviously because he became a billionaire, right? Then Diddy was around the same time. Jay-Z was around the same time. Before that, you had like rappers partnering with a company and putting their name on something, or just promoting, Hypnotic or something. This was one of the first of its kind, and just like Kanye. Remember, he went against Adidas. Oh, we made you a billionaire, and you're gonna go against us. We're going to embarrass you. Now, Kanye helped. Kanye helped a lot, but I'm just saying. And Diddy kind of helped a lot, too. He gave him... You can't go against a company like that with skeletons in your closet. That's my point. I think Jay-Z has less out of all those. I mean, Kanye puts out his thoughts, and they're using his thoughts and beliefs against him. Diddy has actual skeletons in his closet, okay? So going against a company, you're not untouchable unless you're in the government and you have a lot of power and a lot of dirt on other people. Anyways, it's a spooky situation, and Diddy is a messed up person, but I don't know if he doesn't deserve to go to jail for the rest of his life. I don't think, unless he killed somebody or took advantage of underage females, or drugged, if they have evidence against that, then, he should pay for his crimes. But, Diddy gets high-powered lawyers. He's going to spend probably like millions on this, 10 million, 20 million, defending himself, He thought the Cassie one, Cassie probably knew so much stuff that he had to settle that one. I don't know. Anyways, it's Jordan Tower with JT News. Peace.